Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC Fan match reaction. It is finished West Brom 2, Ipswich Town 0. Town defeated by West Brom, and I want to hear what you feel this evening. Town still sitting second, still a wonderful season, still a wonderful start to the season, but how are you feeling after that 90 minutes? Get your comments into the live chat. There is a link I have just dropped also that you can click and come on and have your own say in your own words. So come on your platform, the platform that's for the fans, by the fans. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're watching on catch up, comment for the algorithm so YouTube knows it's an active, busy platform. And that's exactly what we are here. We've got Gino says, ouch, we've got a wake-up call tonight. Not always going to get recovered from early goal. Credit to West Brom. They deserve the win. They say you learn more from defeat. Let's hope so. AD Croucher, a very bad day at the office. It's great to have a shot at goal towards the end. We certainly had a reality check today. And Ginny also adds the bloke from Brom, that's Chris, who was on Talking Town midweek, warned us if they got an early goal, it'd be an uphill battle or uphill struggle, sorry, for sure. And it sure was. Trigger Lee, so Nzabi will be in Wednesday. Crikey, we played at the back like it was game on Dubai Beach. How no one took a yellow card on the halfway line for the second goal. Interesting point. Do you agree with Trigger Lee there? Should we have done more to stop that second goal? Obviously, a counter attack from our own corner. Chris Boyd, shocking performance coming out of a break, defending all over the shop, no midfield, and couldn't lay a glove on them. Sloppy, and very worryingly, given the run we have coming up. Don't forget, we are live also tomorrow, 1:30 for your normal Talking Town. I'll kick things off with Stephen Parry. Stephen, thank you for joining me this evening. It's obviously not the result we wanted, not the performance we wanted, but what are your thoughts this cold evening?
It was a game that, at the end of the day, we've been saying for weeks, you can't keep conceding 2 goals. You're not going to get 2 or 3 every single game. And West Brom are one of those teams that are hard to score against. You can just have to notice the stats, you know. And I said we should start Taylor, but I did also have a worry that we'd get outplayed in midfield. And I think that's where we lost it today. You know, when the ball was coming out of the defence, it was going into the midfield and we were losing it. I just don't think, I think Morsey was worried about yellow cards. I think Taylor wasn't strong enough. You know, I'm not just identifying one player. You could probably, for me, I think Brandon Williams was the only one who was putting shift in. You know,
yep, okay.
Even when Morsey got his yellow card, I think Brandon Williams had that situation under control. I don't think Morsey needed to do that. You know, he had him in front of him. He was backing off him, but he had him in control. He had him under control. The guy had a lot of work to do from there, and Morsey comes flying in and gives away a free kick. There's no need for that. You know, there was a lot of things that weren't right. We didn't look right. You know, and whether that was the fact, I think that was mainly the fact that West Brom was just set up to play us. And that's the way West Brom play. They're hard to score against. And if they get a goal, they're hard to beat, you know, especially at their own patch. Away, it would have been a lot different. But if you look at the stats, West Brom have lost 1 all season, you know. So they know how to win. They know how to win at home. They're a bit like Rotherham. They know what they have to do, you know. Yeah. And like I said, once they've got a goal, I still think first half, I think we were wasteful. You know, I was talking on Discord and people said they had better chances. I don't think they did have better chances. I think Burns' chance, he skies over the bar. Taylor skies over the bar. For me, they were good chances. And they should have been at least on target. You know,
I was going to bring that up, you know, because the early exchange, they get their goal, their early goal. Fast start, Ipswich strikes again. But we did have some moments in that first half where on a different day, you know, when like Hull, for example, at home where Burns buries it past the keeper, you just don't know. But that was really, what is it fair to say that was the brightest we looked in the whole 90, those early exchanges, even though we were a goal down?
I think for the first 15, we were like, what's going on here? You know, we found it hard to work them out for the first 15. Then I think we came into it. I think for first half, yeah, I think it was a pretty even game. You know, they didn't have many chances. You know, their chances were not high XG chances. Let's be fair. That header was a damn good header and went through a lot of bodies. You know, that could have gone anywhere. You know, so it was a good header, but there was a lot of luck involved in that header. He had to hit it just right, otherwise it would have hit a defender. So we had good chances as well. I said the Burns one, the Taylor one. You know, I think Davis could have done better instead of just falling over in the box. You know, we had moments, but they weren't real clear-cut moments, but I don't think they had a lot of clear-cut moments. Barring that header, that was probably about all they had, barring one that bounced off our defender at their striker, and the goalkeeper saved it. They didn't have a lot. Second half, we conceded a sloppy goal early from a position where we shouldn't be conceding one.
Our own corner.
Yeah, if you break, bring him down. First person to him, bring him down. It stops.
So do you agree with what one of the viewers, Trigger Lee, said earlier in the chat about how how he can't believe no one took a yellow card for that goal in terms of trying to bring it down halfway.
Every time you have a dead ball situation, you have to be set up. Yeah, that there's a possibility you might lose the ball and they break away. You have to be, and you tell one person, whoever's closest to the person breaking out, if you have to, take him down. If you can get the ball, great. But if you can't, just stop him from getting any further down the field.
Take one of the teams, they call it.
Yeah, they didn't, And yeah, you can argue that the players, like I think even for that, when Taylor was running back towards, he was chasing shadows. He didn't know. He's not a defensive player. He's an attacking player. And they had two defensive midfielders and we had one. And it showed because they just bossed us in midfield. And like I said, I said play Taylor because he played well at Swansea. But I did have a nagging doubt that maybe Luongo would have been better, defensively than what Taylor would have been in this game, because I know how West Brom play. But, talking about, I can't just criticise Taylor or that. It was a complete shoddy team performance. And I think the team needs to have a damn good look at themselves and say, we can do better than this. But it's one game. We can't be too downhearted. Yeah. I did say we'd be 8th to 12th. So sitting second now, I'll take that all day long. I know some people say, well, we'll have blown it if we get to the playoffs. I'll be delighted with the playoffs because we shouldn't be second. I'm not being funny. Let's all get our blue tinted glasses off. We're up against teams that are better than us. We're up against teams with hundreds of millions of pounds that they can spend, because of FFP and selling players for £70 million, which we haven't done, and we shouldn't be second. We are second, but by a lot of it is luck. We've had some very lucky games where we've scored goals when in games, and you have to score them goals, but we've conceded goals as well, and we've had this warning for weeks. We had it at Swansea, we had it at Rotherham, we had it at Birmingham, we had it at even Leeds. We've had this warning for weeks.
Yeah, as Thomas said in the chat, has been coming. I won't ask you for a man of the match, instead I'll ask you for one word to sum up tonight's game for me, please.
Must do better.
Okay, that's more than one, but we'll take it. Appreciate you coming on, Steve. As always, look after yourself. Got a couple of comments. They'll come to Curtis. Steve Wright, the loss isn't the problem. It's that we had no idea what was required to get into the game. Harps, first time we had no idea what to do. West Brom are a well-drilled team. Bald and blue, the most boring 90 minutes ever. Today we proved we are punting above our weight. No shots on target. Another stupid for Morsey, conceding the first 10 minutes. Dross, bald blue calls it. Harps, slow from the back. Allow West Brom to settle in their shape every time. Steve said, McKenna, we trust. Move on to the next 3 points. Daniel said, I think this December is going to be very tough. Paul Smith can't win them all. Seem to be starting slowly. And Curtis, it seems to be starting slowly. It's a theme, right? Is it now us? Is that now the Ipswich way, if you like? We're going to start slow. We're probably going to concede an early goal. But we always, generally, until tonight, recover from it. Because it's all manner of different goals. The only thing in common is it's always early.
It's starting to get a bit repetitive now. I think we have been riding our luck recently with conceding first, and then I think tonight, although we all had hoped that it would be the same story repeated over the last few weeks, I think tonight the opposition manager's done his homework on us. I think he's nullified the way we play, and it's come back to almost bite us on the arse. I think the last few weeks we started very slow, and tonight it's a bit annoying. I'm trying not to be too disappointed. Is something that I thought tonight. I just thought tonight we were very lackluster. I didn't think there was much about us, especially in the transition to defence to attack. Yeah. I thought there was a lot of jogging back rather than racing ahead.
I think we've lost Curtis. Hopefully he'll come back to us. Martin Twinzawi should be starting. Stuart Bowden, Burns was lost tonight. Didn't we have the desired change his man? 9 out of 10 times he would pass the ball back after receiving it. There were a few other guilty players today. Curtis, you're back. I see you moving in the screen. Welcome back. We just lost you a minute there. Why couldn't we get our forward players into the game? You know, Chaplin, Broadhead, Burns, who was mentioned in the chat there just a second ago. Hurst looking isolated. The theme about McKenna's team is that we often get them involved even when we're not playing well. Today, we just really couldn't. Is that purely down to Carlos Corberán and West Brom's tactics? Is that a mixture of both the tactics, but also us not playing well? What's your feeling on it?
I think you have to. I think you have to give credit to the opposition. I think it would be unfair to not give credit. I think if anything, it would make us look a bit silly if we didn't. But again, I feel like we played into their hands very much. I thought we were lethargic for most of that game. I thought we tried to go long for many bits of it. I didn't think we played the ball enough around on the floor. It just to me it was just a bit disappointing that we've come back and put in such a low standard of a performance from the high standards that we have set. And obviously it's disappointing when you don't score, really. I mean, that is our first time this season that we haven't scored in a game. So it's a bit disappointing in that respect. But realistically, this type of game was always going to come up. We weren't going to score in every single game. And I'm trying not to be too disappointed because the overall points return to this point is fantastic. But phenomenal. I just think if you're going on to Wednesday, I think there's going to have to be a few home truths said about this, because the conceding 2 goals a game at the moment is shoddy. It really is shoddy, and I'm not sure it can be pinpointed down to one person in that defence that's causing these issues. But we can't keep doing it. We can't have gone from such a robust defensive side, a strong defensive side, to now on average conceding 2 a game, because we were never going to continue to match these people and score 2 as well, or score 3. At some point, these goals are going to dry up, and if performances continue like that tonight, where Hurst was getting caught offside more, then the only real option we've got to come on are Ladapo, and then you've got Dane Scarlett, who's yet to still score a goal, bar the fact of that nice shot that he had at the end, which came from nothing.
Half chance, absolutely.
Yeah, which came from nothing, but it was if it's one of them, you don't know how the last few minutes look if that goes in. But again, I think Ladapo is one of them. I think he's got to be looking over and seeing what's over the hill now, because I think his time, certainly at this level for us, I think is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. And we definitely need a different option, because we're replacing George Hurst with someone who's almost the same, but we need someone a bit different. I think Dane Scarlett is still very raw. But no, we move on to Wednesday. And I think we just need a bit of a kick up the backside, because I think tonight more so it is that. But you've got to give credit to West Brom, because I thought tonight was always going to be a bit of a tricky game anyway. I thought we've not won there in so long, and it's one of them. This run that we've been on, it wasn't going to go on forever, but we've got the chance on Wednesday to make up for it, really. So
yeah, absolutely, and that's the real good thing about it. You know, you play against Wednesday, you can get you ain't going to sit on it for too long. Ball and Blue gutted. I spent my wife's Christmas present money on this match. Never mind, Ball and Blue. As I asked Stephen, I'll ask yourself. I won't ask you around the match, Curtis. Before I let you go, one word to describe tonight's game.
Lackluster.
Beautiful. A real pleasure talking football with you, Curtis. Look after yourself.
Cheers,
man. All the best. Steve Wright, changes should have been made at half-time. Subs are used robotically by McKenna. Needed something different after 45. David says, let's play West Bromwich Albion next Saturday. I mean, that's a fair question. Are you looking up or looking down, Town fans? Are you looking at Leicester and chasing them, or are you more concerned about keeping Leeds off our tails and just securing that second spot? I'd love to know what you feel about that one. Ernie Young, hard to listen to in the United States. Glad I didn't have to watch it. Hopefully, we can move the ball around faster in the future. Max says Scarlett for 6 minutes. Give him a break. At least he put himself about. I thought he those 6 minutes was probably a real bright spark in terms of the overall 90. And he had a great chance, a real half chance there to spark a little bit of life into us. Obviously, it didn't pan out because it didn't hit the back of the net, but you never know. A different day that hits the back of the net and we're suddenly in Birmingham territory again. Gino, all teams have a shocking game. I hope that was ours, and our manager has something up his sleeve that will keep in the hunt for promotion. Well, I've got something up my sleeve. That is Stowmarket Osteopaths. Don't forget that we are partnered with them. Call 01449 613 633. That's Stowmarket Osteopaths for osteopath and physiotherapy services. Coxie.
Bonjour, Triggles.
Bonjour, Triggle. Give us the Coxie lowdown. What's going on in the old TikTok tonight, Coxie?
Well, yeah. Like the comments by Stevie Parry and Yatesy, they're pretty much the same, really. I think tonight you have to first and foremost give credit to West Brom. I think, you said that to me after a match recently. You said sometimes you have to give credit, and I think that they were absolutely spot on tonight. We were second best in the 2-horse race tonight, and there was so many players off. Or were they off it? Was it just more of a case of that illustrious opponents today just done the job against us all the way along the park from back to front?
Really well coached team. Carlos Corberán had a coach.
Yeah, you've got to say that. Yeah,
tactically nullified McKenna, and really that was we always knew coming into the game it'd be interesting battles between the two managers who would come out on top. And unfortunately for us, it has been West Brom and Carlos Corberán this evening. But there's plenty to learn from, and I always say you learn more in defeat than perhaps victory sometimes.
Absolutely tonight, yeah.
After a phenomenal start to the campaign, though, it's one of those you look at it in isolation and you take the broader body of work as what we really are. And I'm looking forward to seeing this play against Wednesday. Just get ourselves back out there. Do you feel? I was sort of stalling for time there because my original question left my head. So I was trying to think what my original question was. Here's my original question: Jack Taylor, Massimo Luongo. Not Jack Taylor's best game in midfield this evening. Do you feel the international break sort of hurt us there a little bit in terms of Massimo playing for Australia, travelling, not getting back till Thursday, Friday, whenever it was he got back? Do you feel had he not been involved in international football, obviously he would have played tonight, and maybe a different circumstances? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts or my perspective on that is, I think going on our last game, Jack Taylor came in and he was phenomenal. And I think rightly so, he kept his place today. Like we are looking at through the old Harry Hindsight, the world's greatest football pundit. But no, I think Taylor. He was right to Taylor's start without looking at it with hindsight. Yeah, but Taylor wasn't the only one who was off it tonight. Chaplin. I can't remember him actually having a kick-old game, really. But was that the tactics there? Get him out of the game. A lot of people were going on about Burns, but I thought he was one of our better players tonight. Yeah.
It hurts nobody more than me to speak about Jack Taylor, because obviously I'm Jack Taylor's biggest fan. You just look at, perhaps it wasn't his best performance, but he's certainly earned his place. He was phenomenal against Swansea. I've been calling for it since
he did today. Yeah, he did.
So I'm not going to say he shouldn't have started. I was wanting to know if you felt the international break, was perhaps a factor in the Massimo Jack Taylor debate. Ball and Blue, is Mr. Cox's background blurry, or have I had 2 minutes to drink?
My background is blurry, yes.
Lewis says, sign that Jed Wallace. I know the commentators certainly love Jed Wallace. West Brom obviously need the pounds, according to the commentators. Yes, how many times was West Brom's for sale mentioned? If you had it on your bingo card for more than 10, I reckon you might have won some money, right?
Yeah.
Are they for sale? Are they?
Well, we certainly know they are. Yeah, I mean, the commentator must be, on a bit of a sideline there. Perhaps a bit of backhander there. How many times can you mention we're for sale? And help us out here a bit, please, mate. Yeah.
Thoughts are their own, not of the network. Craig Holland, better team one, end of. We move on to Wednesday. Craig Holland, I think Taylor definitely earned a start today, but we lacked that usual dominance in the middle of the park. Ian Davis, other teams are starting to suss us out. Our start has been fantastic. A reality check today. It's a tougher league than we think. Mike D, we were due to lose eventually. Just a shame we didn't. Leave it all out there, but it's been coming, which is, yeah. I mean, you can't really argue with that. Seriously, Burns was dry, poor. What did he do? Well, how did you see West Burns' performance, his first one back?
I thought first half he was doing okay. You know, there's I think a couple of shots he had was wayward, but he wasn't the only one. He's one of the better, and yeah, he did fade in the second half, but he's still come back to fitness. But yeah, he was more in the game than others tonight. Yeah,
James Reed, this game showed we needed by another centre forward and centre half. And Stuart Bowden, might be time to look at the Twin Derby in defence from the start. What are your thoughts on this before I bring in Lee Coxey? Defence has been questionable all season, but the fact we have been able to outscore teams has made this go a little unnoticed.
Definitely were frailty, especially the two centre backs tonight. I mean, at first Wolfenden was not on it. West Brom could have scored. I think there's a second goal there shortly after there. I mean, to be fair play, yes, it is worrying. It's another early goal. It was, as Stevie Parry said, it was a great header. Way he placed that. But there was. But now another point of view, there was many town players there in orange. Statues. Not. Yeah, got to stop this early goal stuff. And another thing for me with the local derby is Brandon Williams. A lot of people are waxing lyrical, but there was a reckless challenge there. If he gets too wound up in the local derby, we could be down to 10 men if he,
Could be Castro Cito all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, be careful of that one. He needs Kenneth seems to have a word and say, come on.
Yeah, I see your train of thought there, but he's a player that plays close to the edge. That's part of his game. You'd a bit like Morsey, plays close to the edge, plays close to the line, and I wouldn't want to take that away from him, to be honest. It wasn't the greatest of tackles, but he does it, and then he learns from it, and obviously you move on. Before I let you go, as I've asked the other two guests this evening, one word to describe this evening, please, Coxey.
I think going on this season, frustrating is the biggest word. Frustrating.
Perfect. Look after yourself, my man. All the best.
Adios.
Thanks for jumping on. I've got to start putting the glasses on to read these comments. I'm really struggling this evening. Max Fax, Burns looked like our most likely avenue to goal in first half. Corberan made in-game adjustments and snuffed him out. Fair play. Lewis, I like a calm centre back who can play it out under pressure from the back, but Wolfenden goes any more relaxed, he'll be asleep. BSC Blue, I think that means Brayson Edmonds Blue. Average players being extremely well coached but have to reach their level. McKenna now needs better, quicker players to take us to the next level. Joe Cook, very surprised concerned that Twenzarbi can't get in the team. Feels like a poor signing at the moment. Lee, did the substitutions sort of highlight the urgent? Scratch that. The need, not the urgent, just the need for reinforcements. You've got Jackson playing wide right. You've got Freddie Ladapo coming on up front. Does that sort of highlight that come Jan, you're definitely going to need to go and bring, as somebody just said in the chat, those better players for McKenna to work with?
I think so, and the reason I say that is it's not against the players that came on, but when you get into a game where the opposition have got your number tactically, and on that night you're not doing it tactically, you need players that can play off the cuff, some that you can throw on and do something. And I think we missed Hutchinson tonight because I think he could have come on. Would he have changed the game? I don't know, but he'd have been that player that could play off the cuff. I don't think we've got those players, and I think that's something that we need. So at the moment, we have players that play to a system. We play a certain way. When it goes well, and when it doesn't, you just need somebody that you can throw on. And that sounds a bit sort of old-fashioned, but I think if you've got somebody that can go on and maybe beat someone and turn the defence a little bit more than what we had, then yes, I agree with that point. And I think Jackson, towards the end, he had that sort of chance where he went behind and he just overrun the ball. If you give that ball to Hutchinson, he's got that under control. It's it's on the end of his foot, and he's going to take on the fullback and such like. So yeah, I do think we've been right when it comes to players off the cuff. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Stephen Perry says, not enough championship game changes. Max Fax, on the other hand, says, note to all Town fans, take a deep breath. One game, negativity in the chat is embarrassing. What are your thoughts on that one, Lee?
Well, I think so. I mean, look where we are and look where... I mean, it's the championship. It's a league season. You're going to lose games. But if we're going to analyse the game, we're analysing the game as a game. So there's the negative points because we've lost. I can't take any positives from the game tonight as such.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Other than we still tried to believe in what we were trying to do and tried to play that way.
Yeah.
In terms of the overall season, well, we're still on cloud nine, aren't we? I mean, let's face it. But it really was a contrast of styles tonight, and I think, it's the old cliches, isn't it? They score from a set piece, and they played on the counter attack, and what we saw tonight, and this is the greatest respect to the team we've just faced, that when we faced that in League One, they sat back, defended, but they couldn't hurt us on the break so much. But now you've got a team that were well drilled in what they were doing. They had five. They were pushing and pressing with five players. You could see five players pressing, and we couldn't counteract that. And then when we did, we didn't capitalize on the spaces at the back. So that's the step up. We faced that last season, but not the same on the counter attack. And they've scored a set piece and they've hit us on the break at the start of the second half. I think probably, had they not caught us on the break, I think they'd have got a little bit edgy. But I think because they got that second goal and they score, there's no bad time to score. Let's be honest, but they scored early and against a side that has only conceded 7 games in 9 at home, or 8 in 9, or something like that. Yeah. If you're conceding at home very early, and it goes back to the point Curtis made, you can't keep putting those games back, particularly against a side that doesn't concede a lot at home and play that counter attack on football. And I'm sure that the team would have talked about that, but we just seem a little bit apprehensive at the start. Maybe I think I'd like to get our foot on the ball, because I think we're better when we're on the ball because they haven't got it, and I don't think that happened tonight. So, but fair play to them. Fair play.
Absolutely. Championship football, everyone's got good players, and sometimes it's the fine margins. Trevor says the negative is I could have played in goal for West Brom, says Trevor. I think I probably could have played in goal for West Brom this evening. Stuart says it's not negative, it's constructive feedback, which is what all these players need. Yeah, I do agree with what Stuart's going along with. I mean, I don't think for a minute McKenna's getting the lads in saying, don't worry, lads. It's an amazing season. We're sitting second, 7 points still. We can start to not perform every week. I mean, we can switch off. We can have moments, Lee. Absolutely. But you're always going to get some fans that view it one way and other fans that view it another way, right?
Yeah. He'll sit them down Monday morning. He'll analyse the game over the weekend. He won't sleep well. We can see that from the interviews with him. He'll analyse the game. He'll sit the players down. We've got a clear way of playing. We're going to attack the championship. We're not going to change our formation or our shape or our ethos to play against teams. We're going to try and pose ourselves. And to me, long may that continue. And again, what's been said before, don't get too high, don't get too low. They're just not a panicky team anymore, or a squad, or a management team, coaching team. They're just going to sit down, analyse where they could have gone better, put their hands up where things went wrong, and said, do you know what? On the day, this is what we need to do here, there, and such like. But again, what these games are going to happen. You can't not go unbeaten in 46 championship games. Any league season, apart from Arsenal. Was there a team called Arsenal did it once?
Well, yeah, they did. They drew an awful lot of games, but yes, they did. They
did. But I mean, in the championship, you can't. If we're having this same conversation in the new year, then then that's a different story. But come on, let's be realistic here. And we've got 2 home games now to try and bounce back. We'll see where we are in those 2 home games. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll just ask the chat, what should I call tomorrow's Talking Town live at 1:30? You got any ideas, Lee? What should the show title be called tomorrow?
Trust the process.
I like that one. Oh, no. The first time we can use it this season. We go again.
We go again.
It's back out. Sound the klaxon.
That's stay calm, drink tea. I don't know.
That will.
Let's not. I think what we're going to be careful. The one thing I'd say, and McKenna always touches on about being humble. Let's just be humble about where we are and what we were at the start of the season, coming up in the Championship. Yes, we've got money. Yes, we've bought players to play in the Championship, but we're surrounded by clubs with parachute payments that can bring in players that at the moment we could probably only dream of. And we're bringing in players for the future, and we're trying to do it a slightly different way. And we're now, maybe we bought our way out of League One. You could say that to a point compared to what other teams have, but we're on a much level playing field in the Championship. We just need to have a little, a perspective about where we are. But let's judge us in January after this tough run of games. But yeah. As long as we're trying to do the right thing, we're trying to play the football that we play. I mean, let's face it. Who watched England the other night? How dreadful was that? And we go to Portman Road on a Saturday and see what we see. Oh my God!
Yeah,
it's completely different.
No. As I've asked the 3 other guests, one word to describe tonight before I bring in the cruncher for the last word.
Chill.
Oh, I like that.
Chill.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, Lee. And chill.
Yeah, cheers, mate. See you later.
All the best. Good to talk football with you. Cruncher, eating chips at the rate of knots. He doesn't look like a man who's gone and watched 2-0 defeat. How you feeling?
Right. I thought sometimes in football, Gov, you have to give the opposition credit. And I think tonight they just done a number on us, didn't they? Doesn't help. Obviously, when you concede a sloppy goal, and I mean, we had a little spell, didn't we? I think about 15 minutes into the first half. What got us going? Brandon Williams made a tackle after about 20 minutes, which was probably the first time we laid a glove on him. And then it picked us up a little bit, and then we sort of, for 15 minutes, I thought we looked okay. Didn't really create a lot because obviously we didn't create a lot all night. And then you go in at 1-0 down, and you think, yeah, you probably take that because we haven't really been at the races. I'd like to see it again, but the second goal is horrendous defending. I mean, that is the type of goal, Martin, you would concede when you're chasing the game late on, when you're throwing everyone forward. There's 2 or 3 minutes left, and you're taking a bit of a chance. I mean, to concede that goal, what was it? 3 minutes into the second half, was it? It's absolutely it's killed you. And from them, I just thought West Brom done a real professional job. They bought some free kicks. They wasted time. I thought in Jeb Wallace they had the best player on the field because I thought he was excellent. And for once, I think this is probably one of the only times in 100 games under McKenna when we probably come away from a game and we'll say we didn't deserve anything out of that game tonight because we just weren't at the races. And that happens sometimes in football. We're lucky, I think, that we've got another game in the week to put it right. But yeah, we just looked sloppy. We looked slow. The asthmatic snail was back.
He certainly was, wasn't he?
We didn't move the ball quick, did we? We were just. No. And then when we did, we were sloppy in possession, give the ball away cheaply, and there's not a lot of positives to take from that, really.
No, when you're struggling to make a 5-yard pass to each other, that's when you know it's not your night, and you can't take nothing away from. I'm sure they are, but you can't take nothing away from West Brom. But equally, you can say to yourselves, that wasn't the Ipswich we know and love tonight.
No,
for sure.
I would say, thanks, mate. No, just got me change. I would say, I would say that it was what Chris sort of said, that if West Brom get ahead, I I would say tonight, Martin, they suffocated us. That's what it seemed to me. We could never get the ball into Hurst. We could never play off of him. I thought Broadhead was really poor. I thought he was sloppy when he had possession. There's not many who'd come off that field tonight and you say, yeah, you've had a good game. But look, this is the Championship. We know what it's about. It's 2 defeats in 17. It's hardly time to throw the baby out with the bathwater, is it really? But because if you look at the games over the weekend, when you look at Southampton, you look at Leeds and you look at Town have probably had the hardest game out of the three of them. And them two teams have only drawn, so they've only gained a point on us. It's disappointing. I get that. It's really disappointing. You're live on Sky. You want to show the nation what Town are all about, because a lot of people will probably be turning on tonight thinking, there's a lot of noise around Town. You watch that game and then you think, they're not a lot, Ipswich a lot. Look, I agree with Mike D there. Corberon. Got some great coloured trousers, hasn't he? I mean, he's a very good coach. He's a very good coach. West Brom are I'd say they're the best team we've played so far this season. I know Leeds looked good at Portman Road and they beat us 4-3, but I thought over 95 minutes tonight, we did not lay a glove on them. And it's disappointing. That's the first time, I think, is it 36 games that we haven't scored in? But we never look like scoring tonight. When we're standing there as the game's going on in the second half and he's made some subs and it didn't really change it, did it? And then it summed it up when Caden Jackson, he's running down the wing and it's bouncing off him. It bounces off his knee and goes out for a goal kick. And that just about summed up the whole performance tonight. I just thought we weren't at the races, but is it a disaster? No. We've got an early opportunity against Millwall to put it right. But look, under no illusions, that'll be a tough game. They lost 3-0 at home today. Their manager's obviously new manager going to be looking for reaction from them. So, but it's important to get a run going again and just look. We're at home. We've got 2 home games coming up. You're hoping that you can get 6 points from them because we've got some really tough away games, Martin. We know what we got coming up. So
certainly
this is the Championship. This is a Championship, and tonight it was just a little bit of a sobering reminder to a lot of fans who I think some of them have been getting really carried away. Yeah, we're going to get 100 points. We're going to get second place. We're going to win the league. We're going to win Premier League. Loads of football to go. And if you're not at the races, that's what happens. And these teams will learn. They'll learn what Ipswich are all about, how to shut them down, how to close them down. And I thought, as a football fan, not that I like to see my team lose, I just think tonight you just have to take your hat off to West Brom and say you did a number on Town.
President Blue, the tagging pace of play at the top of the Championship is the difference. Something we lack, Crunch? ?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I looked at the bench tonight. I thought that's probably a game where you could do with Amari Hutchinson, that bit of pace, that bit of
I agree.
Bit of trickery, Gov. You're bringing on Caden Jackson, who all due respect to him, he's a League One footballer, and he's coming on. But let's not go overboard and let's not criticise them too much because the players have been fantastic. But I think when January comes, and I know it's not a great time to sign any players, we do need, as Paul Lambert used to say, a little bit of help. I think we do. I think the squad needs a little bit of a boost because you're looking at the players coming off the bench. Can they really affect a game against a very good team? That's open to question for me. Against some teams like lower down in the Championship, I think you can make them subs and they can make an effect. But I thought tonight, all round, we just weren't very good. And it's a cold old night, not a lot to cheer about, but we go again. We go again. I agree with Mike. I agree with Mike there. It's probably since Bristol Rovers, but we are playing up a level now, and this is. I don't think Kieran will be too critical of the players. Well, not when he comes out publicly, but I think that's just a reminder to everybody what a real hard division that the Championship is. And I keep saying it, we've massively overachieved so far. We have. And tonight, as I sit here, people might think I'm being negative. I would snap your hand off if you offered me a playoff place. I 100% would. Because it's 7 points. It's only 7 points. That league could soon be whittled away, Martin. You've still got 29 games to go, That's not a massive advantage. But we'd rather have...
what it's worth.
But you'd rather have a 7-point advantage on teams like Leeds and Southampton and other teams who've got massive more expectation on their shoulders than Town ever had going into this season. So we could be disappointed tonight, but let's just reset, and then hopefully Wednesday comes, we're back at Portman Road in front of the cameras. Let's show everybody who watched tonight, if they're watching again, yeah, Town are a good side. We know we're a good side, but we just didn't show it tonight. And hats off to West Brom because I thought they were excellent.
Before I let you go, I won't ask you for a man of the match. I do what I've asked all the other guests, and that is, I will ask you for one word to describe this evening, please.
Sobering.
Sobering. Perfecto. Look after yourself. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Safe travels. Thank you ever so much to all of our guests this evening, from Stephen Parry to Curtis to Coxey to Lee Anderson and Cruncher. Thank you for clicking the link. Thank you for making the live chat really get busy and pop off with some great comments. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow at 1:30. Hit the like. If you're watching on catch up, comment for the algorithm. Let it know just how busy and thriving Talking Town is every time we discuss our football team. Sadly, not the result we wanted, but still a fairy tale journey season unfolds. We go again Wednesday. Join us tomorrow, 1:30. Until then, enjoy your Saturday night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.